Chapter 3. Beginning of a Legend. In every shinobi village, there is a reminder of their previous leaders and heroes to honor their memory and sacrifice they did to protect and defend their homes. In Konoha, there is a certain mountain that shows exactly that. The mountain was actually called the Hokage, leader of the Leaf Village, mountain, and in it were carved the previous and current Hokages of the Leaf, and there it stood the faces of the legendary shinobi. Senju Hashirama, Shodaime Hokage, leader of the Senju clan, one of the founders of the Leaf Village, and the first user of the Mokuton element. He was a caring and kind person, dedicated to serve his village. However, he ended up dying during the First Shinobi War. His fight against Uchiha Madara had taken its toll and left him permanently weakened. He was at the time of his death a shell of his former self, but even now, about 80 years after his death, he's still remembered by everyone in the village. The second face belonged to Senju Tobirama, Nidaime Hokage. He was Hashirama's younger brother and became Hokage after his brother's death. He too was a very strong shinobi. In fact, each of the Hokage was hailed as the strongest shinobi of their time. Tobirama was known for his extremely high water affinity that allowed him to use high-rank moves in places without water by condensing the air around him. He too lost his life fighting in the Second Shinobi War, but before his death he appointed Hiruzen Sarutobi, one of his students, as Sandaime Hokage. The third face on the monument was Sarutobi Hiruzen of the Sarutobi clan, known for their monkey summoning and extreme skill in taijutsu, hand-to-hand combat. Hiruzen is currently around 55 years old. He's one of the most powerful shinobi in the village, but in his prime, he was hailed as Shinobi no Kami, god of the shinobi, mostly because of his skill in ninjutsu that allowed him to combine different elements to his attacks. Hiruzen is the current leader of the Leaf Village after his successor, the Yondaime Hokage, died. The last face of the monument was Minato Namikaze, the Yondaime Hokage, hailed as the strongest of the Hokages. He was also the fastest shinobi to ever live in the elemental nations. Not even the Raikages with lighting armor could compete with him in speed. He was known for his use of the Hirashin no Jutsu, Flying Thunder God technique, a S-rank technique of his creation that allowed him to move at almost the speed of light. This technique was the reason that he was known as Yellow Flash, due to his blonde hair. The only thing that people managed to see was a yellow flash due to his speed. In the Leaf Village, he was a hero that sacrificed his life to kill the Kyuubi no Yoko that attacked the village 5 years ago. And here, 5 years later after the Kyuubi attack, is where our story truly begins with a small boy that despite being mistreated, his whole life will rise to become the legend he was born to be. Konoha, 5 years after Kyuubi attack of October 10th. It was a warm night in the Leaf Village. The sun was just going down. It was starting to dim. Town lights were coming up, and we still could see many people going around the village doing their business. Unlike many other villages, even though Konoha was the most powerful village in the elemental nations, it didn't seem militaristic or cold. Many people, if they saw Konoha, would say that it wasn't a shinobi village. However, the mountain that surrounded the north part of village was a dead giveaway. In it were carved the faces of the most powerful shinobi to ever live. It was October 10th. The village was covered in decorations and celebrating the defeat to the Kyuubi that attacked 5 years ago. Everyone in the village was happy. It were times of peace. The wars were long forgotten, but not the hate and pain of many that were lost. Although everyone seemed happy, one particular kid was very sad and lonely. Uzumaki Naruto was an orphan of the Kyuubi attack. He was about 120 centimeters, 3'11", and had spiky blonde hair, the bluest eyes anyone ever had, and in each cheek he had 3 whiskers marks, a birthmark. He was wearing a white shirt with short sleeves with an orange swirl in his back and black pants. Despite being what appeared to be a normal child, Naruto was hated and despised by most of the village. He was a painful reminder of the Kyuubi attack. He was expelled from the orphanage at the age of 4 and lived in the streets for about a month until the Hokage's ANBU found him and took him to the Sandaime. Sandaime eventually became a grandfather figure to him. He gave Naruto a small apartment and allowance to live. But Naruto was constantly pursued by the villagers and constantly abused and beaten. The stores kicked him out or sold him rotten merchandise or charged twice the price. Even in the orphanage, he still received the same treatment. Growing up in this kind of life forced Naruto to mature quickly if he wanted to survive. Because of this treatment, Naruto became a highly intelligent kid that could rival a Nara. He became cold and calculative to everyone except his closest people, that in his case were simply the Hokage himself and the owners of a ramen stand. Only 3 people cared for Naruto and wondered if he was eating or sleeping well. During his birthday, things were even worse because the villagers and a few shinobi would gather up and hunt him down like an animal, and here is where we are. A scared kid was running through the streets of Konoha, trying his best to avoid the villagers and shinobi in hot pursuit. The villagers were shouting, "Die, demon! Get him! Finish what the Yondaime started!" Naruto wondered what did he ever do to deserve such treatment and harsh life. "Stop, please! What did I ever do to any of you?" asked Naruto, running as fast as he could, his legs starting to give away. "Oh, please, you know very well what you did." "You killed my brother and my father!" shouted one of villagers as he threw an empty bottle. "We will finish what the Yondaime started and kill the demon," the villager said, as the other support him. Naruto kept running until he looked behind to his pursuers and noticed that a couple of them appeared to be Chunin, Chunin, medium-level shinobi. Even thought Naruto was a stamina freak, a 5-year-old couldn't compete with the speed of a Chunin. The Chunin quickly closed the distance between him and Naruto. He took out a kunai and did a horizontal slash. Naruto, seeing the kunai that would most likely kill him, he ducked. As he was ducking, he noticed that time appeared to be slowing down. After dodging the slash, he unwittingly channeled chakra to his legs, trying to jump over a fence to get away. The rest of the shinobi seeing this were actually surprised, but they couldn't let the demon get away, so all of them threw a couple of kunai at him while saying, "Kunai Kage Shuriken no Jutsu." The kunai multiplied to 15 and were going fast at Naruto. Naruto, knowing that he couldn't dodge them all in mid-air, started observing them and calculating the best way to avoid them. It was then that it happened. His vision suddenly became clearer, and the incoming kunai seemed to almost stop. Just by looking at them, he could see where they would land. Reacting to his instincts, Naruto quickly caught one kunai with his hand and started deflecting all of them except one that managed to pass his defenses and hit his shoulder. He cried out in pain, but managed to get over the fence and to safety. He pulled the kunai of his shoulder and noticed that the wound was already closing. "I wonder why I'm the only person to heal this fast," he asked himself while walking through the village hidden in the shadows to avoid the villagers. But he quickly noticed that his vision was different. It was black and white, and he could see people with a blue flame inside of them that surrounded their body. He tried to push his eyes to see better, and suddenly he passed out in the alleyway. The stress and exhaustion of running and taking a kunai to the shoulder was too much. Naruto's mindscape. Naruto awoke in what it seemed to be a sewer. There were pipes in every wall, and the floor was filled with water with about 20 centimeters in height, 8 inches. He wandered through the endless corridors, wondering where he was, when he heard a soft male voice calling him, "Follow my voice," the strange voice said. Naruto didn't know him but was drawn to this voice. After walking for a couple of minutes, Naruto found himself staring at a big iron doors with verticals bars. The middle of the door, it was a small paper with the kanji for seal. He looked inside the cage, but it seemed empty. "Hello there, Naruto," said the voice. Naruto jumped back surprised and noticed a man leaning in the sewer wall outside of the cage. Naruto observed the man carefully. The man was about 190 centimeters in height, 6 feet 2. He had spiky blonde hair with 2 bangs that framed his face and had blue eyes. He was wearing a full-body blue suit and the standard jonin, high-level shinobi, flat jacket. He was also wearing a white cape with red flames, and it had the kanji for Yondaime Hokage. "Yondaime Hokage?" asked Naruto. He knew very well what happened 5 years ago. He knew that the Yondaime died to kill the Kyuubi. He was a hero. "My name is Minato Namikaze, and I am the Yondaime Hokage," he said, looking at the kid in front of him and wondered how it happened so soon. Naruto seemed 5 at the most. How? You were supposed to be dead. Am I dead too? Naruto asked. No, you are not dead, but unfortunately I am, Minato replied. But if you are dead, then where am I? And how do you know my name? Naruto wondered what the hell was going on. Naruto, I am going to explain everything to you. Listen closely, okay? He asked too, which Naruto nodded. We are inside your mind. This is your mindscape. It's basically a representation of your mind in physical form, understand? Naruto nodded. Now the truth is that I am your father. Naruto froze when he heard that. No, it can't be. Gigi told me he didn't know who my parents were, Naruto thought. You're my father? How it? Naruto asked. Well, about the how you will find out when you're older, Minato said, chuckling. But it is true, I am your father, and I'm sorry I wasn't here with you, but I had to stop the QB. But listen, I don't have much time. You probably wondered why this village treats you like a monster. To which Naruto slowly nodded. Well, there isn't any easy way to say this, but 5 years ago, when you were born, the QB attacked the village. Sandeme said that I killed the QB, but that is impossible. QB is a mass of chakra without actually a physical body, so it can't die. The only way I had to stop the QB was to seal it inside a newborn baby, I'm sorry to say, but I had to seal into you. He said with a bit of shame, wondering how Naruto would react. What? What do you mean by sealed? I am the QB? He asked, now realizing what all the names the villagers called him by. No, you are neither a monster nor the QB, you are my son. And by sealed I mean that the Kyuubi is trapped in your gut, behind these bars. Kyuubi, come forward, Minato explained. Suddenly, behind the bars of the empty cage, Naruto saw 2 glowing red eyes with black vertical slits. As the eyes approached doors, he noticed the form of fox with tails swinging wildly in this back. There it stood behind the doors, the most powerful being in the word. The most powerful of the 9 Biju, the Kyuubi no Yoko, the 9-tailed demon fox. Naruto, seeing this, jumped back, scared to see the monster that attacked the village and was responsible for many deaths. No need to fear me, Kit, the Kyuubi said, watching the poor kid. He knew too well what the villagers did to him. Naruto, Minato said, getting Naruto's attention. This is the Kyuubi, and he's not the demon everyone thinks he is. The attack 5 years ago was not his fault, Minato said, and started explaining what happened in that fateful night, 5 years ago, from when Naruto was born, to the masked man unleashing the Kyuubi and controlling it to attack the village to Minato, sealing him into him. Naruto was still frozen, absorbing what happened, everything his father was saying. Naruto didn't know what to say, it was just too much. Naruto, Minato continued, I'm sorry that I had to seal that Kyuubi into you. You had a harsh life until now, but I trust with this it will be slightly better, Minato said, and touched Naruto's stomach, effectively transferring the seal key to Naruto and opening the cage. What are you doing? Naruto asked, worried that his father opened the cage and let the Kyuubi out. Naruto, I told you that I wasn't that Kyuubi's fault that night. The Kyuubi will help you grow up and he'll be at your side to help you in your battle and provide advice. The only thing I ask of you is when you're close to your death that you release the Kyuubi. He didn't deserve to trapped in a cage to be used as a weapon, Minato said. Will you really be my friend? Naruto asked, still a bit fearful of the fox. Of course, I will take care of you and make you strong so you can protect your home and friends, the Kyuubi replied, and what happened next surprised everyone in the mindscape. Naruto suddenly left his father's side and jumped into the paw of the Kyuubi. So soft and warm, he said, getting chuckles from both Kyuubi and Minato. Now, Naruto, there is more that I need to tell you. I don't know if you realized it, but doesn't your vision seem different? Minato asked. Actually, it's all black and white with you being blue and Kyuubi red. Naruto replied, Naruto, do you know who Uchiha Madara is? Minato asked, getting a disgusted growl from the Kyuubi, clearly showing no love to the Uchiha leader. Yup, I know he was one of the founders of the Leaf and was leader of Uchiha clan. That is supposed to be one of the strongest in the world. Naruto said, surprising his father. Naruto, even though was 5-year-old, was very smart and did like to read, but going into the library was impossible, as he was always expelled.
Exactly. But what you and anyone doesn't know is that Madara was in fact my father.
I never said anything to anyone because I decided to keep it a secret, he said. Naruto's eyes widened when he discovered that the legendary Uchiha Madara was his grandfather. I am the son of the Yondaime Hokage Konoha's Yellow Flash, and the great Uchiha Madara. There is no way I'm not becoming Hokage, Naruto thought. With my you begin my Tusan, father, and Madara being my Oji-san, grandfather, there is no way I'm not becoming Hokage, believe it. Naruto yelled, pumping his fist to the air and getting a smile from Minato. I have no doubt you will, Naruto, Minato said, ruffling Naruto's hair. Now you know that the Uchiha clan have a bloodline, more specifically a Jujutsu rite. Naruto nodded. This bloodline is called the Sharingan, and you activated its first level. Look at the floor. Naruto looked down and saw his reflection in the water. His eyes were blood red with a black tomo in each eye. The Sharingan will evolve until it's fully matured, getting 3 tomos in each eye. Minato concluded he didn't want to go any further into the Mangekyu. His time was ending and the Kyuubi could explain it if he ever unlocked it. God, I hope he never has to go through that, Minato thought. Oh, I knew I was awesome, Naruto said, happy about knowing everything about his family and finding he had a bloodline. Now, Naruto, pay attention to what I'm going to say. Minato started. I know that you always wanted a family, but you can't go to the Uchiha clan. Besides having the Kyuubi in you, which if they find out that you are an Uchiha, they will use it for their own gain, I want you to be a good person and not an arrogant, power-hungry like the Uchihas are. Never rely too much on the Sharingan. Remember that the Sharingan is only a tool. Having it doesn't make you all powerful, okay? Minato asked, getting a nod. Okay, my time is ending. Everything I have, including my clan's techniques and weapons, are in the Namikaze compound, and only you can enter since there's a blood seal around it. Be careful so that no one finds out. I have many enemies, as did Madara. If you ever wish to reveal your true heritage, I ask you to reveal when you are strong enough to protect yourself and anyone you care about. There are people that would stop at nothing to kill you or your friends to get revenge at me, Minato said, with a bit of regret. After all, during the Third Shinobi War, he was responsible for slaughtering Iwa's forces. Do you know how to use chakra to deactivate your eyes? He asked, getting a nod from Naruto. I'm fading, my chakra is almost over. Remember, Naruto, me and your mother loved you very much, and I'm sorry that you had to live this life and growing up without love. Minato said, sad on how everything turned out. He asked the Sandaime so that the village saw Naruto as their hero, but he was too naive. Don't worry, Tusan, I got to meet you. After all, you did what you needed to protect our home, Naruto said, getting a smile from Minato, as he said to fade away until he was no longer standing in front of him. Naruto woke up in the alleyway, wondering if it was all a dream, until he heard a voice in his head. No, Kit, it wasn't a dream. I'm here after all. You should deactivate your eyes for now and start training. I will help you in every way I can, and when you are old enough, I will train to use my powers. Kyuubi said, Thank you. At least I have you with me. I could use the company. Naruto replied, happy with everything that happened. Who knew that this night would turn out to be his best birthday? You don't need to speak out loud or people will think you are crazy. Just think and I will hear it. Also, now that the cage is open, you gained my second ability. You are able to sense people around you, and in time with training, you will be able to sense their feelings. You should tell the Hokage what happened. He will help you, but keep him in the dark about my help for now, the Kyuubi said, getting a nod from Naruto as he got up, deactivated his Sharingan, and started to make his way to the Hokage Tower. 15 minutes later, Hokage Tower. Naruto made his way into the Hokage office after arguing with the secretary and threatening her to tell the Hokage that she called him a demon. The reason Naruto never found out about the Kyuubi is that apparently the Hokage placed an S-rank law that prohibited anyone from telling him he had the Kyuubi in him, and anyone who broke it was subjected to immediate execution. Old man, Naruto said, earning a smile from the old Hokage, happy to see Naruto and getting a break from the Hokage's #1 enemy, paperwork. Naruto-kun, how are you? Do you need anything? The Hokage asked. Even thought the Hokage wasn't actually related to Naruto. He has grown quite close to him in the last couple of years, treating him like a grandson. I wanted to ask you if you could tell me who my parents are. Naruto asked, messing up with the Hokage a bit before he tell him what happened. I wonder how he will react, he thought. I already told you, Naruto. I'm sorry, but I don't know who your parents are. All I know is that they are heroes that died fighting the Kyuubi, the Hokage replied. He couldn't tell Naruto who his parents are, he was too young. Gigi, before I tell what I came here for, can you tell your ANBU to leave? I only want to tell you this, Naruto said, getting a surprised face from the Hokage. How do you know that there are ANBU in the room? He asked, to which Naruto replied, saying, I can sense them above the ceiling. Naruto replied, Very well, the Hokage said, and with the flick of a hand he signaled his 4 ANBU bodyguards to leave the room. Now Naruto, do you want to tell me? He asked. Gigi, are you sure you sent them all away? I can still sense another person there, Naruto said, pointing behind that bookcase. Once Naruto said that the 4 ANBU quickly returned and dashed towards the intruder and quickly immobilizing it. The intruder had normal ANBU gear, black pants, and steel plate in the chest for protection, but his mask was completely white with the kanji for root. Damn that Danzu sticking his nose where he shouldn't, Hokage thought. Naruto, you are indeed a skilled censor. You actually caught an intruder that was in here, Hokage said. Oh, I knew that I was awesome, Naruto replied, getting a chuckle from the old Hokage. After the room was empty, Naruto approached the pictures of the previous Hokages and stopping in front of the picture of the 4th. Turning to the Hokage, he said, Anything you want to tell me? The Hokage paled when Naruto asked him. How did you find out? The Hokage asked, wondering how did Naruto find out. Very few people knew that Minato was his father. Now that I think about it, I could almost be his twin. I wonder how anyone never noticed, Naruto said, and started explaining everything that happened leaving the Kyuubi helping him, he being Madara's grandson, and him having the Sharingan. Minato really was a genius. To think even dead he gives me headache, the Hokage thought. Now that you know, what are you going to do? You know you can't tell anyone, the Hokage asked. I'm going to train to become strong like my father was, and then I'm going to take that hat of yours, Naruto replied, getting a chuckle from the old Hokage, to which he said, I have no doubt you will. Chapter 04. Training begins. 1 year later. 1 year has passed since Naruto found who his father was, and training couldn't be going better, with the help of the Kyuubi. Naruto was now 6 years old, and he was never caught by the villagers, except if there was a trained shinobi among them. Even then, Naruto managed to fool him to escape. Kyuubi had Naruto training primarily in chakra control, since one of the benefits of having a tailed beast sealed inside of a human is that it gave that person ungodly amounts of chakra and almost unending stamina. However, if you mix the Kyuubi with what you might call the Uzumaki bloodline, it wasn't exactly a bloodline, but many members called it the tailless beast curse. Members of the Uzumaki clan had unmatched amounts of chakra. The regular chunin of the Uzumaki clan had same amount of Akage. Naruto was only 6 years old but already had enough chakra to match most jonin. However, with so much chakra control was extremely difficult. In the beginning, any jutsu that Naruto tried, he overwhelmed it with chakra, causing it to fail or blow up in his face. The first jutsu the Naruto learned was henge, no jutsu that allowed Naruto to change its appearance. Naruto actually asked the Hokage for him to teach him Dasher, flashback. 1 year ago. Hey old man, call you teach man the henge, Naruto asked. Why do you want to learn it? Can't you wait for the academy to start? The Hokage asked, to which Naruto replied, Ever since I found out who my father was, I want to train and grow stronger. But I need to enter the library and I can't, because they think of me as the Kyuubi. The Hokage lowered his head. Ashamed he couldn't convince the villagers, or protect Naruto. "I'm sorry, Naruto. I tried my best to protect you," he said. "No worries, just teach it to me. It will help me to get into the library and not get expelled from stores too," Naruto said. "Okay, it's very simple. The hand seals are dog, boar, ram, then you release chakra to cover your body and think of the image you want," the Hokage said, and which Naruto tried to transform into the Hokage, and the result was, "I don't even know what it was. Go train now, I have work to do," the Hokage said. "Okay, thank you, catch you later," he replied. End flashback. With Henge at his side, his life got significantly better. Although he hated to pretend to be someone else with the Henge, he managed to enter the library and go to stores and get good food for normal prices. What surprised him was that the villagers were actually friendly and good persons. The hate for the Kyuubi simply clouded their judgment. Naruto promised that one day he would get their acknowledgement, and if couldn't, at least they would respect his power. He wouldn't want to make people fear him, but it would better than discard him like trash. Even though Naruto wouldn't have access to the shinobi section of the library since he was a civilian, he decided to try and henge into one, the shinobi. It worked like clockwork. The secretary didn't have shinobi training, so she couldn't detect Naruto's henge. He searched the shinobi section and found what he wanted: Introduction to Chakra Control, Basics of Chakra, and even read a few scrolls for the basic forms of Taijutsu, Academy Taijutsu. One of the best things he could ever hope for was his Sharingan, even though for now his Sharingan still had one tomo in each eye. Anytime he found any shinobi in the trainings grounds, he watched with his Sharingan to try and learn what he could. Even though the Sharingan was in its first level, he could see glimpses of a few jutsus. After watching a spar between two Chunin, Naruto managed to copy the Kawarimi no Jutsu. Naruto decided one night to sneak around the village into the Namikaze compound. Naruto bit his finger to draw blood and pressed it against the main gates. There was a poof of smoke, and the gate unlocked. The compound itself was small, much smaller than that of the Hyugas or the Uchihas. He first thought of moving into the compound, but he couldn't let anyone see him, so he decided to wait until he revealed who he was. Looking around the compound, it had 5 rooms, 3 bathrooms, 3 living rooms, and a couple storage rooms. But the biggest room was the library. It had tons of scrolls of taijutsu, ninjutsu, and a few genjutsu, books in fuinjutsu written by his father and from Uzumaki clan, including kenjutsu. There were journals and diaries of the clan. His father must have collected what he found about the clan and stored it here, along with his mother, since she also was the last of her clan. After searching, Naruto decided to open a few scrolls until he found his father, personal taijutsu style. The Namikaze were never a shinobi clan. They were only civilians. Minato hoped to start his clan along with the Uzumaki and Konoha.
Minato never actually named his style, but it appeared to a mix between Hyuga's gentle fist style with the Uchiha's interceptor fist, which relied in the Sharingan.
The style was based in predicting and avoiding the enemy's attacks, with fast counterattacks to the enemy's pressure points. One strike was all it was necessary to disable arms, legs, and even paralyze completely or kill the enemy. It was similar to gentle fist style of the Hyugas instead of attacking tenketsu, chakra points. It focused pressure points. Naruto's training program was killer. With the help of the Kyuubi to guide him, he started in the morning and worked all day long, so that after sleep he could start again next day. One fateful day, Kyuubi forbade Naruto of his constant ramen eating, forcing him to eat vegetables and balanced diet. It was a dark day. Along with his training, Naruto also wore weights to increase his muscle mass and speed. Only a couple of pounds so it wouldn't stunt his growth. He was 6 years old after all, but he was already at level of a genin, except he couldn't the Bushin no Jutsu. The minimum amounts of clones he could was 100, which wasn't very helpful when Naruto only wanted 1. At least it would confuse the enemy to no end. The first weapon that Naruto decided to learn was the bow. He read about it in a book, and since the Hokage was master with this type of weapon, he asked if he could borrow a few scrolls. Currently, Naruto always had with him a wooden bow. To anyone else, it was simply a piece of wood. However, Naruto was a level 2 bow master, 2 of 5 at 6 years old. The biggest development Naruto had was his tactical mind. Maybe it was having a fox sealed in him, which made Naruto extremely cunning and skillful in traps. Combining this with a mind of a prankster, the next few years would be dark times for Konoha. One day, Naruto was walking through the village. Since his henge wasn't up, he got the usual glares and the occasional empty bottle thrown at him, which he simply dodged. Naruto was going for his weekly ramen meal. The Kyuubi allowed Naruto to eat a ramen meal twice a week, which is better than none at all. Stupid fox and his vegetables, he thought. Ungrateful brat. If you eat only ramen, you will become a midget. You need a proper diet to grow. Or so, said the Kyuubi. In the last year, Naruto and Kyuubi have grown closer, as close as a human and a fox can. After you ignore the constant bickering and death threats, they both liked and respected each other. Fine, I get it, furball, Naruto replied and continued walking to his ramen stand. Naruto was walking, not really paying attention to anything around him, until he heard a couple kids arguing about something. Getting curious, he looked closer. He found 3 kids around the age of 10, most likely academy students that were messing with a little girl. She looked like she was his age. She had neck-length dark blue hair and white eyes, trademark of the Hyuga clan. Deciding to help her, he ran up to them. "Hey, leave her alone," Naruto said, trying to get thugs away from the girl. "Oh, a kid playing hero. Get lost before we hurt you too," they said, which made Naruto jump in front of them, shielding the girl. Deciding to prove his point, he adopted his bow-style defensive stance, his left leg slightly ahead of his right, knees bent, both hands grasping his wooden bow in a downward position. in stance. "He's trying to scare us. Let's teach him a lesson," they said and pushed forward. One of boys sent his right arm forward trying to punch Naruto. Naruto simply used his bow to strike the boy's hand out of the way. Naruto then flipped his bow, sending a strike to the boy's chin, like an uppercut. Another boy tried to punch Naruto, to which he ducked, and using his bow struck the boy's leg, making him stumble forward, to which Naruto kneed the boy hard in the stomach, leaving him in the ground in pain. Naruto turned to the last boy, who froze his attacks after seeing his friends effortlessly defeated. Picking up his friends, he decided to run away before he also got hurt. Naruto, turning to see the girl, asked, "Are you okay?" "I'm fine, thank you," the girl stuttered. Naruto didn't know if she was afraid of him, but he guessed she was just shy. "No problem. I'm Uzumaki Naruto. What's your name?" he asked. "Hyuga, Hinata," she replied, looking at her savior. Even though she was still young, she couldn't help but to blush and look down. Naruto was 6 years old, but was quite a good-looking young man. "Come on, let me help you up," he said, grabbing her hand and pulling her up gently. He noticed that she didn't have the cage bird seal in her forehead. He remembered hearing the Hyuga heiress was his age, meaning that the girl in front of him was heiress to the Hyuga clan. She was pretty much Konoha's little princess. "Hey, I'm going to lunch at Ichiraku's, wanna come?" he asked, to which Hinata slowly nodded. They walked together, and Hinata, seeing how the villagers glared at Naruto, wondered why. The walk was calm. They didn't talk much since Hinata was terribly shy. Arriving to the stand, Naruto ordered chicken ramen for both of them. "Oh, Naruto, is this your girlfriend?" a young girl from behind the counter asked in a teasing manner. Her name was Ayami. She was in her teens. She had brown hair and eyes and a pretty face. She was wearing simple clothes and had a white apron. "No, nothing like that. We just met a couple minutes ago," he replied, blushing a bit. Even though he just met her, he could see that she was actually quite pretty and she would grow up to become a very beautiful woman. Hinata didn't say anything. She just blushed really hard and looked away so that no one could see her. They talked a bit during their meal. When they were finishing the food, a Hyuga member appeared and looked at Hinata. His name was Ko, a branch member and Hinata's bodyguard. "Hinata-sama, there you are. Your father is waiting for you," he said, taking Hinata's hand and starting to leave. "Bye-bye, Naruto-kun, it was nice to meet you," she said, to which Naruto gave her foxy grin and looked at his meal to finish it. "Looks like you got yourself a little vixen," the Kyuubi said, chuckling. "She's not my girlfriend." Naruto thought, getting angry. "You say that now, but I'll see in a couple of years," the Kyuubi said, chuckling. "Perverted fox," he thought. After he finished the meal, he paid for it and left to his training. Basakazurar. Few weeks later, Naruto was walking to his home. He had just finished his training, and it was like any other day, painful. He was sore all over. During the last few weeks, he increased his taijutsu training and started with weapons. He could now use kunai and shuriken with deadly accuracy, and with the Sharingan, he picked it up quickly. During his training, he managed to level up his Sharingan to level 2. Naruto now had 2 black tomos in each eye, and he was very proud of himself. He heard rumors of the Uchiha clan prodigy that managed to fully master the Sharingan at the age of 8. Naruto said that he was going to fully mature it even sooner, and as fate would have it, Naruto didn't know how right he was. During his walk home, he sensed 2 chakra signatures moving quietly through the woods. Placing 2 fingers in the ground and focusing in their chakra, he found that one of those chakra signatures belonged to his friend Hinata he met a few weeks ago. Wondering what she was doing this later in the day, he went in search of her. When he arrived near both of them, he saw a shinobi. It was a Kumo shinobi from his headband. He recognized this shinobi. It was the Kumo's ambassador for the new alliance between Konoha and Kumo. He noticed that he was carrying a bag in his back, to which Naruto, sensing Hinata's chakra, knew she was being kidnapped. Quickly throwing a couple of shurikens at the shinobi easily deflected them all and faced the attacker and was surprised. It was a small kid. "Hey kid, leave before I kill you. I am Jonin, you are no match for me," he man arrogantly said. But it was true, Naruto was Genin level, and he couldn't match a Jonin's power. However, Naruto was cunning. He knew that he needed to alert someone to come and help. "Naruto, switch with me. I'll send a fireball to the sky to alert the AMBU," Naruto agreed, and switched with the Kyuubi. The Kyuubi quickly went through a few hand seals, looked at the sky, and yelled, "Katan, Gukakyu no Jutsu, fire style, fireball technique." The Kumo shinobi was impressed. A 6-year-old performing a C-rank fire technique. He shouldn't have chakra for that. Naruto just knew that he had to stall the man and activated his Sharingan. He didn't care if his secret got out as long. Hinata stayed safe. The Kumo shinobi decided to engage and quickly kill the kid to leave before reinforcements arrived. The Kumo shinobi threw a couple shurikens and yelled, "Shuriken Keige Bushin no Jutsu." The shuriken multiplied to a few dozens. Naruto couldn't deflect them all and jumped to the left, to which the enemy was waiting, and kicked him hard in the stomach and punched in the face. Naruto crashed into a tree and fell to the ground, clutching his stomach in pain. The Kumo shinobi walked to Naruto thinking he just won. After all, it was just a small kid. Then he noticed his eyes, they were the Sharingan, and he thought, "An Uchiha rescuing a Hyuga, how ironic, but still I'll take him too. 2 bloodlines are better than 1, and the Sharingan is one of the most powerful." The shinobi went to grab Naruto by the neck, but stumbled forward when he noticed it was a Bushin. Naruto took this opportunity. Removing his weights and channeling a bit of the Kyuubi's chakra, his body couldn't take much right now. Charged in a burst of speed to the shinobi, with a kunai in his hand, and pressing his kunai against the man's chest, effectively killing him. The Kumo shinobi wondered how it happened. How could a kid this age be so fast and defeat him? And then he noticed his blood-red eyes with 3 black tomos in each eye glowing and spinning. The shinobi fell to the ground dead. Naruto knew he just killed the enemy, and it was his first kill. Even though he was ashamed of what he did, he needed to do it. The man wouldn't leave without Hinata, and he had to protect her. Growing up alone made Naruto overprotective. He would fearlessly jump and destroy another village to protect his friends. Since he never had any, the few he has he would give his life to protect. Getting up slowly, he stumbled a bit forward, looked like that kick broke a few ribs. Walking to Hinata, he opened the bag, and Hinata saw her savior for the second time. It was the blonde kid she met a few weeks ago. She then quickly jumped and hugged and started crying. "Ush, it's okay. You are safe now. I won't let anyone hurt you," he whispered to her to comfort her. She was hugging him when the reinforcements arrived, led by Hyuga Hayashi, Hyuga clan leader, and he saw what happened. Apparently, the demon brat killed the Kumo shinobi and saved his daughter. He walked to Naruto, yanking him from Hinata. "Stay away from her. Even thought I appreciate what you did. I would like if kept your distance from her," Hayashi said in cold and hard tone. Grabbing Hinata's hand and leaving, he said, "You are still weak. You are too soft and almost ended up being kidnapped. You are unworthy of being the heir of the clan," he said, and left without even letting Hinata say goodbye to Naruto. The Hokage arrived a few minutes later, and the INBU told him what happened. His eyes widened when he noticed it was Naruto who saved Hinata and managed to kill the Kumo shinobi. "Naruto, are you all right? How are you feeling?" the Hokage asked, concerned. The first kill was the hardest, and sometimes broke shinobi and ended their carrier before it even started. "I'm all right, only a couple of broken ribs, but the furball will take care of that. Even though I feel bad that I killed him, I knew it was the only option. I knew I needed to delay him as much as I could, and if opportunity presented itself, kill him. So don't worry about me. It's the life of the shinobi after all," Naruto said with a weak smile that the Hokage caught. "I understand, Naruto. Don't worry. Tomorrow come see me. I'll give you the payment of a B-rank mission for this," the Hokage said, ruffling his hair, and Naruto nodded and started to walk home. Even though he killed a man tonight, he managed to save Hinata, and actually, he broke the Uchiha's prodigy record. "Looks like I got my Sharingan matured at age 6, he said to himself, chuckling as he went home to a long night of sleep. Chapter 5, Couple of Losers. 1 year later, Naruto, 7 years old. In the last year, many things happened around Konoha and even more with our loud blonde. He was now 7-year-old kid. Naruto changed his outfit. He now wore dark green pants, a blue t-shirt with an orange sleeveless jacket. AN, check profile for image. A couple of weeks ago, there was an incident that shocked Konoha. The Uchiha's clan prodigy. Uchiha Itachi massacred his own clan, leaving only his little brother alive. This event turned his little brother Uchiha Sasuke into an avenger, wishing only to kill his older brother to avenge his fallen clan, the Uchiha clan. Even though were arrogant pricks, they were a powerful and highly respected clan in Konoha. The funeral service was huge. Every person in Konoha attended and paid their respects, with the Hokage delivering the eulogy. Naruto watched from afar with a sad face. He may not have liked the Uchihas, but in a way they were family. He also felt a bit glad that he never told anyone he was an Uchiha, or maybe he also would be sleeping underground right now. Naruto decided that after this incident maybe it would be better to tell the Hokage about his legacy, but still keeping it a secret from the village for now. What would the village think if right after the Uchiha massacre, the demon brat appeared using the Sharingan and being one of the last Uchihas? Man, I would be eaten alive, he thought. He would most likely be forced to, when ready, be a sperm donor to restart his clan. He was the demon brat. He would most likely be used and when not necessary, discarded. He thought about approaching Sasuke, but when he saw him in the academy, the kind of personality he had, power-hungry, arrogant, he wisely chose to forget him and let him be. The academy in Konoha start at age 8 to anyone who wishes to become a shinobi of Konoha. The curriculum lasts 6 years and ends with the students being 14 years old and genin rank should they pass their exams. The academy starts with history, math, and other general topics, then goes for chakra theory and principles to stealth, weapons training, traps and tactical training, and ends with taijutsu and ninjutsu training. When the Naruto showed the Kyuubi his academy curriculum, he wondered how the hell was Konoha the strongest shinobi village in the elemental nations. This year's class was very special. Naruto's class was filled with clan's heirs. There was the Inuzuka, known for their dog partners and collaboration ninjutsu. The heir of the clan was Inuzuka Kiba, a loud and brash kid. He had brown hair and 2 red markings, one in each cheek, symbol of his clan. There was the Akimichi clan. Their heir was Akimichi Choji, a small boy with large bones. Anyone who called him fat gets smashed. Their clan was known for using techniques that relied on high-calorie usage, meaning Choji was always eating. There was the Yamanaka clan. Their heiress was Yamanaka Ino. She had long blonde hair and wore a dark pink outfit. Her clan used mind techniques. They could read thoughts with mere touch, confused and make enemies attack each other and even take control of the enemy's body. There was the Nara clan. Their heir was Nara Shikamaru. He had pineapple-style hair and wore mesh shirt with black sleeveless jacket and black pants. He was lazy and mostly slept through classes. The Nara clan was known for its members having high IQ and being extremely skilled in strategy and planning. Shikamaru's father was actually the head of the strategy division of the village. There was the Aburame clan. Their heir was Aburame Shino. He is a collected guy, distant to everybody. He had black sunglasses and wore a gray clock that pretty much only showed his glasses. His clan rely on using bugs to fight. Their children once born are implanted with bugs that feed on their chakra so they can use them to fight. There was the Uchiha clan. The last member of his clan and heir was Uchiha Sasuke. He wore blue shirt with the Uchiha crest in the back and white shorts. The Uchiha clan was known for their high affinity for fire and their Kekkei Genkai, bloodline limit, the Sharingan that Naruto also had. Naruto was an Uchiha after all. There was also a girl named Haruno Sakura. She had pink hair and wore a pink dress. Even though she wasn't from any clan, she was in this class. She was the daughter of Haruno Akira, which was a member of the civilian council.
Figures, he thought.
The last clan was no other than the Hyuga clan and their heiress Hyuga Hinata. The Hyuga clan, much like the Uchihas, were known for their Dujutsu, the Byakugan. This bloodline limit, when active, allowed them to see chakra with high detail, almost 360-degree vision, and long range extending to kilometers if trained enough. The clan also have the gentle fist taijutsu style, which is renowned to be the strongest form. Hinata and Naruto met a couple years ago after Naruto saved her twice, and she developed a crush on him. Both of them met a few times along the years and became close friends, and even though neither of them would admit they both liked each other more than simple friends. The current year was going down without much trouble. Naruto decided to accept the Kyuubi suggestions regarding academy and use a mask. The Kyuubi suggested Naruto to hide his real strength. Deception is the ninja's greatest weapon, and so Naruto opted to show his mask by being a loud, knucklehead, dumb kid. He chose to become the dead last, and it was a wise choice. Since every teacher tried his best to make look bad, he couldn't raise suspicion. For now, I bet the civilian council would have me stay weak forever if they could, Naruto thought as he tried to sleep in the classroom. Dahti, Binder 1 year later. In the last year, Naruto grew more than he could hope for. Thanks to his matured Sharingan, he managed to copy an extremely useful technique while watching two Jonins spar. Flashback. Naruto was approaching a training field hopping that it would be empty when he sensed a powerful chakra signatures. Suppressing his chakra, something that the Kyuubi taught him, he could actually sneak up on people extremely well. Being a sensor allowed him to know if he was actually suppressing his effectively or not. He approached and started to watch them. "So Kakashi, are you ready for our next youthful challenge?" said a Jonin that was wearing full-body green spandex suit, a Jonin flat jacket. He had the thickest eyebrows Naruto had ever seen. Not paying attention, the silver-haired ninja identified as Kakashi said something, guy? Damn you Kakashi and your hip ways. Our score stands 50-50, shall we begin? Guy asked, to which Kakashi nodded. Kakashi had silver gravity-defying hair. He wore that standard Jonin clothes, black pants, mesh shirt with Jonin flat jacket, and covering his left eye was the Konoha Hitayat, A.N. I think it's called Hitayat. Naruto watched in wonder the speed on the battle. His fully matured Sharingan allowed him to follow every single move each one of them did. The battle went for a couple of minutes until Kakashi pulled up, his Hitayat reveling a Sharingan. What? How can he have a Sharingan? I thought all Uchihas were killed minus Sasuke. Naruto thought, wondering how could Kakashi have the Sharingan. Kakashi was very popular in Konoha. He was the son of Hatake Sakumo Konoha's White Fang, known to be as powerful as a Sannin, so he couldn't be Uchiha. Look carefully, Kit. He hides it under the Hitayat, so it's probably an implant, the Kyuubi replied. The battle continued, and Naruto copied a few jutsu, including one that would help Naruto immensely, and would later become his trademark. Keijabushin no Jutsu, Shadow Clone Jutsu. End flashback. Armed with the Keigebushin that Naruto realized that it transferred his memories to the original he started using for training. For now, Naruto's limit was about 1,000 clones. If anyone saw him making so many, would most likely call a monster. After all, this technique was an A-rank kinjutsu, forbidden technique, for his massive chakra usage that would kill most shinobis. Since Naruto already had cage-level reserves, using this technique barely affected his reserves. Something that Naruto wondered was if using the Sharingan gave photographic memory, because he remembered everything he saw. Naruto was walking to the Hokage Tower. He decided that after what happened to the Uchiha clan, it would be the best choice to tell the Hokage he had the Sharingan. Hokage Tower. "Hey, Gigi," said Naruto with foxy grin. The Hokage, seeing Naruto, gave him a smile. He barely got to see him nowadays and wondering if he was always training. "Oh, Naruto-kun, haven't seen you in a while. How is your training going?" the Hokage asked. "It's going very well. I actually got a few awesome techniques," Naruto said, smiling. "I can probably take you on, old man," he said, chuckling. "I'm not that old, Naruto-kun, so what brings you here?" the Hokage asked. "Well, I have a few things I chose to tell me if you promise to not reveal it until I'm ready," Naruto said with a serious face. The Hokage, wondering what it could be, made a hand gesture and the ANBU left the room. Naruto did a few hand seals and said, "Fuinjutsu, Cone of Silence." The Hokage gasped for air when he saw Naruto perform a C-rank Fuinjutsu, but since he knew who his father was, wouldn't be much surprising he was following his footsteps. "Impressive, Naruto-kun, 8 years old and studying Fuinjutsu," the Hokage said, impressed. "Actually, Gigi, I never told you everything about what happened when I is 6 years old, you know?" said Naruto with the embarrassed laugh. "Now, Gigi, pay attention to me," he said. Naruto closed his eyes and started to channel chakra to them. Slowly opening them, he showed them to the Hokage. Blood-red eyes with 3 black tomos in each, the Sharingan. The Hokage heart missed a beat and his eyes bulged out, almost popping out of his head. The Hokage simply asked, "How?" "Well, I am an Uchiha by my father's side," he replied. "How is it possible? Minato never had the Sharingan," the Hokage asked, wondering how could Minato never told him. "I'll explain everything," he said, disabling his eyes. "For starters, I will tell you that my grandfather was none other than Uchiha Madara." That was the final straw poor Hokage's heart gave out, and he fainted. Naruto, seeing this, sweat dropped. "And he says he's not old," he thought out loud, picking up the Hokage and laying in the couch. A couple minutes later, the Hokage started to awake and saw Naruto waiting. "You awake already, Jez?" "Here," Naruto said, giving him a cup of tea. "I'm sorry, Naruto, I still can't believe it." "How can this be?" the Hokage asked, wondering how could Madara have a son and no one knew. And his son was Minato Namikaze of all people. He has blonde hair for Kami-sake. Naruto started explaining what his father told him. Madara survived his battle with Hashirama and was saved by a woman who would years later become his lover. They had a son, and when his grandmother was killed, Madara decided to continue with his plans and left Minato in the village. So Madara was still alive. "Who would have thought Madara had a son?" the Hokage said, taking in the information. "Well, Naruto-kun, I will guard this secret until you are ready to show everyone who you really are. Remember, you have 3 legacies to continue. Your mother's Uzumaki clan, and both your father's and Uchiha Madara's legacy," he said. "Don't worry, Gigi. I plan on revealing everything when I'm strong enough to protect me and everyone I care about. My father and grandfather both had a talent to piss of Iwa, and I don't need problems right now," he said, chuckling. "That they did." The Hokage thought how Iwa suffered at the hands of both Minato Namikaze and Uchiha Madara. "But when I reveal who I am, if they ever try to hurt me, or someone I care about, I will burn their village to the ground," Naruto said in serious and cold tone. "I wouldn't put it past them. That damn Onoki that Tsuchikage is an old and stubborn fool. Be careful." The Hokage said, "Naruto, I wanted to ask you, how can you already fully matured Sharingan? It's very rare to even awaken it too early in life." "You see, Gigi, I awakened it when I was 5 years old after some Chunin tried to attack me, and I matured it when I killed the Kumo ninja that tried to kidnap Hinata," he explained, to which the Hokage nodded. It made sense. The Sharingan awakens and evolves in life and death situations. "So that's how you were able to keep up with a Jonin. The Sharingan truly is a terrifying power." the Hokage exclaimed. The Sharingan allowed a 6-year-old to kill a trained shinobi. I'm going, Gigi. I just thought you should know after what happened to the Uchihas, Naruto said, leaving the Hokage's office. He will one day really take this hat from me, the Hokage thought, chuckling. Konoha streets. Naruto was walking through the streets of Konoha, going to a training field to find out and start training his elemental affinities. He already knew that most likely he would have fire from the Uchiha blood, but he could have more, or not even fire. Better safe than sorry. Naruto was walking peacefully, keeping himself in the shadows, not to have problems until he heard someone crying, checking. So, see who was it? He noticed it was Hinata. She had her knees to her chest and was crying. Naruto quickly rushed to her side. Hinata-chan, what's wrong? Why are you crying? He asked, worried to help her. Hinata, seeing Naruto, quickly hugged him, crying even more. Naruto tried to ask what was wrong, but she didn't answer. Naruto started whispering comforting words, saying it would be all right, until she fell asleep in his chest, tired from crying. Naruto picked her up bridal style and took her to his apartment. He laid her in his bed, took a chair and sit by her, said, grabbing her hand. He fell asleep minutes later. After a few hours, it was late at night, around 2 a.m. Hinata started to wake up. Opening her eyes, not knowing where she was, she jumped up, awakening Naruto, who was by her side. Seeing that he was by her side, she couldn't help but blush until she remembered everything that happened yesterday. Hinata-chan, what happened? You can tell me, I will help, Naruto said, trying his best to help her. Hinata was looking at the ground, sad. She decided to tell him everything and started to remove a piece of cloth that was tied to her forehead. She removed it, showing a green tattoo. It was the cage bird seal. Naruto, seeing this, was shocked. They branded the heiress of the clan. My father said I was weak to be the heiress of the clan, so he branded me and disavowed from the Hyuga C clan, she said, looking at the ground. Naruto was furious. How could they do that to family? Branding, it's a despicable decision. But to remove a member and even his daughter from the clan for being weak. It's okay, Hinata-chan. You are not weak, and you have me, he said, slightly blushing. But I'm weak. I was almost kidnapped. I was the same age as you, and you managed to save me. I'm nothing more than a loser, she replied, crying and yelling, letting all her anger and frustration out. No, Hinata, you are not weak. You are a kind, loyal, hard-working, and a beautiful person, he said, getting blush from her. Look at me, he said. Taking his hand to her chin and raising her head, they locked eyes, and he continued. I'm hated by everyone in the village. They all call me demon and try to hurt me. To them, I'm nothing more than a loser that shouldn't even be allowed to live. But I don't give up, and I never surrender that my Nindo, and one day I will prove to them that I'm strong, he exclaimed, getting a smile from her. Is it because of the QB? She asked. She knew it would be sore subject. How do you know? Naruto asked, stuttering, a bit shocked. She knew. Well, when I use the Byakugan, I can see the red chakra in your gut, and father told me, stay away from you, and the villagers call you demon, so I did a bit of research, she said. Do you hate me? Naruto asked, wondering if he would lose his only friend. No, of course not. I know that you aren't the Kyuubi. You are a kind, cheerful, and brave person, she said, hugging him. Naruto felt a tremendous weight leaving his shoulders. Hinata, let's work hard and prove to them that letting you go was the worst decision they could ever make. If you want, I'll help you, he said. Really? She asked hopefully. Of course, I take care of the people I care about and love, Naruto said with a blush, lightly bending forward and softly kissing her in the lips. Hinata didn't expect that, but she also loved him, so she returned the kiss, gently moving her lips. She couldn't be happier. Her best friend, her crush, Her love was kissing her and saying he loved her. Naruto couldn't be happier when Hinata returned the kiss. He thought that she never would like him more than friends. Slowly backing up and ending the kiss, they were both blushing. Hinata quickly hugged him and said between sobs, "Naruto-kun, thank you, I love you too. I promise, Hina-heim," she blushed at the affectionate name, "that I will one day remove that seal. I promise that I'll protect you, and together we will show the village what a couple of losers can do." Naruto exclaimed, giving her his foxy grin and kissing her cheek until she fainted. "Well, that lasted longer than I thought," he said, laughing. Chapter 6: Jutsus and Dreams. Couple weeks later. A couple of days after Naruto found Hinata, he asked if she would like to live with him, to which she accepted, and they began to do everything together, living, eating, and training. They would even sleep cuddled together. Naruto taught Hinata the Kagebushin, and even thought she could only make one. It was enough. They started sending them to the academy, except in days where there was taijutsu training. Naruto also took Hinata to the Hokage and explained everything that happened. To say that the Hokage was pissed was an understatement, but since she was considered an orphan now, Sarutobi agreed to give her a month allowance until they became genin. Naruto suggested Hinata that they kept their connection a secret until they were older. He didn't want the villagers to give her the same treatment he receives. In the academy, each took their different seats to not arouse suspicion, and so they started sending Kagebushin to the academy and training together. Hinata during the last days got to meet the Kyuubi, and when she found him with the gates open, she fainted. Now we find the couple in a training ground. Naruto pulled chakra paper and gave one to Hinata. "Okay, Hina-heim, this is chakra paper. It's used to test elemental affinities, just push chakra to it, and we will see," explained Naruto, pushing chakra to his paper. It crumbled all together, showing a high affinity for lightning element. Then the paper split in two and burst into flames.